Hey, what's going on, guys? Xbox on channel, host Sega Forever. Doing a little bit something different tonight. I know normally I would have the Wrecking Crew podcast, but I kind of want to keep this video a little bit short. And kudos to the to Unlimited and Hebot and Tuckmaster and even Sega Man, who did videos this week. Man, they pretty much covered everything we're gonna talk about. So what I wanted to do is an all-in chat, and hopefully some of you guys will jump in, be able to ask questions and stuff like that in the chat. That I'll answer them. But I wanted to give my thoughts at least on everything that went on this week because it was a pretty busy week for Xbox, as it always is. To be honest with you, man, there's not a day that doesn't go by where Xbox isn't talked about, or Xbox isn't in somebody's mouth, whether good or bad. And then some weeks it's more bad than good. I mean, if you guys are Xbox all in, you guys know that as well. But regardless, man, there was a lot of good stuff. Some stuff that I wanted to talk about, stuff I wanted to give my opinions on. Hopefully, I get some of you guys in the chat and you guys can talk about it as well, and then I'll adjust the chat accordingly. Just let me set some stuff up really quickly. Uh, I was able to get off of work early today, man. It's a statehood day where I live, and my workplace was nice enough to give us an hour off early, so that's why I'm able to get home now at this time and do the podcast now. Probably, depending on the chat and stuff like that, but I can knock this one out in an hour. Because I do have stuff to do tonight. But more importantly, man, I actually picked up some games recently on the sale that was going on. Um, was it last week? Last week's sales. I picked up a couple of games. There's some other games I wanted to pick up too, man. But you guys know how it is. Man. There's so much games that we can be playing on the Xbox side, and I know a lot of these dudes don't like to admit it. You know what I mean? Especially a lot of the haters, right? They don't want to admit that Xbox has a lot of games. In fact, we have too much games, and that's why when you have news that breaks talking about Evolve being moved to February, and again, I talked about this in another video. I will say though, if you're a fan and that's one of those games that you're waiting for, totally understand. You know, if you're disappointed, right? If you're a little bit upset, maybe that might be the game that you're looking for it to play the most, and you're hoping that it'll come out this year. But that's probably just a small group of people. Um, and I'm not making light of that, dude. But the majority of the stuff that's done on social media and in the gaming media, man, it's all for clicks and views, and just out of pure hate. So it's one of those three things, or a combination of all three of them. But either way, you shouldn't really be listening to these guys, if I'm being honest, man. And again, we'll do a media blast. We'll talk about that more directly. Dustin Liguri and some of these dudes, these pony bots are running their mouth, so we'll address that. Shout out to Tuckmaster. He did a good video about that earlier today. Finally caught up with everybody's. There's just so much content that's put out, which I enjoy. Um, which I enjoy listening to the fellows. And so we'll discuss that as well. And then we'll also talk about Gamescom, man, because I'm really excited about it. It's been a great year. For somebody like me, the way I like to consume my media, that I like to consume the content that I enjoy, whether it's gaming, movies, um, music, all of the above, man. Sports even this year. There's not been talking about sports a lot more. In fact, I think the Indiana Fever is playing the Phoenix Suns right now, or not Phoenix Suns, Phoenix Mercury. I think either the game's over or it was either earlier or it's going on now, but hopefully I'll be able to catch up on the replay. I'll go check that out later on tonight, man. And that's what I'm gonna do. I got some stuff that I need to get done. And there's some stuff that I want to do, man. We do these podcasts and stuff like that. It's great to talk about things, no problem. You know what I'm saying? Don't have no problem talking about all the stuff. But at some point in time, dude, we also want to play our games or watch our shows. I got put behind an eight ball this week, man, because I found this Korean drama on Netflix. It was called Arfdo Chronicles, man. It kind of threw me off, dude. It blew me away, to be honest with you, man. I heard people talk about it in the same vein that I talk about Korean dramas myself that I try and recommend, and just a couple places just talking so much about it. Then I saw who the actors was. I saw who the cast was. It was definitely a big production. I mean, it's a little bit old school K drama, where this thing, like these episodes, were like 1 hour 19 minutes long, dude. So I watched the first couple of episodes, dude, and I was hooked from the jump. And that spelled bad news for me because once I got hooked to it, man, I had to watch it. I had to finish it. That's just the way I am. So that kind of occupied my time this whole week of me watching that. So these videos that this stuff we're gonna talk about, I actually wanted to do individual videos about each topic. But since I had to do a podcast tonight, I figured I would just do a chat, man. We'll address everything as it goes. But that's one of the reasons why I couldn't like. That's why we're basically in the situation I'm in right now, dude. I got through all of them, dude. There was like 18 episodes, dude. All hour 10, hour 19 minutes long. I mean, and I'm talking not. There's no commercial. Right? This is Netflix. This is hardcore. A lot of story, man. A lot of great characters. Um, a lot of twists, a lot of turns. Great acting. If you like Korean dramas, dude, just definitely want to watch. It's on Netflix right now. Highly recommend. Just be careful, man. If you get hooked like I am, dude, you might have to put some stuff on the side. And I did get some gaming in, though. That's the other great thing. I'm trying to keep up with all my gaming. We got a lot of stuff to play. I finally played Black and White. I believe it's the name of the game. I believe it's from Annapurna. I think it dropped either last week or the week before in Game Pass. Awesome game, dude. Highly recommend. Storyline's a little iffy for me, man. Dude, they talk about angels and demons and stuff like that. But I mean, it's a fun, colorful. Um, it's kind of like a running gun type thing, right? There's a time limit and stuff like that. It's pretty cool because there's leaderboards, um, and it's worth checking out, dude. In fact, that's the thing with Game Pass. A lot of these games, man, even if they're not your cup of tea, you find something about these games that you end up liking. Dude. That's what makes Game Pass. Hey, Vontae, what's up, man? Hold on, let me pull it out, dude, because I keep on misspelling it because I'm old. So it's called Arfdal Chronicles. Let me um let me copy and paste this and I'll drop it in the chat, dude. Because I don't want you to I don't want to give the wrong information, dude, and you're over there checking trying to figure out what it is. Oh, you saw it? You saw it? Yeah, dude. It was. I feel bad because I didn't. I think I remember it back in the day. People were talking about it. In fact, people were saying like it was like the Korean Game of Thrones. Thank God it wasn't as bad as Game of Thrones. As far as South Korea is still a very conservative country, so there's not a lot of excess. Game of Thrones, dude. It was evil. It was a very evil show, man. I love the fantasy aspects of it. I love the Stark family, stuff like that. I definitely was down with Winterfell. A lot of the episodes I ended up skipping, like some upwards of like 15, 20 minutes on some of those episodes, man, because I just didn't care for some of the stuff they had in there. But overall, man, it was a great thing, and I have to agree, man. This show kind of reminds me of Game of Thrones, more of a G-rated or PG-rated version. There's a lot of action, a lot of twists, great storylines, a lot of different story arcs going on at the same time. Great world building. I think they could have did a little better job on the world building. If that's probably my only complaint. But I thought it was just well done, just well acted, well scripted. Um, they do a lot of the tropes that you see in a lot of Korean dramas, but they do it well. Yeah, I just absolutely loved it, dude. I watched a lot of the episodes, kind of burned through them, and then I went back and watched parts that I really liked, some parts that I missed, and that's what happens. This is why I'm not hurting for content, dude. This is why, if how I complain about Disney Marvel on this channel, if they want to go and do the stupid crap that they do, that's fine with me, dude. If Star Wars wants to just piss their brand away, if Disney Star Wars wants to just ruin the brand and the legacy of Lucas, I'm fine with that as well. Because I got other stuff to watch. There's a lot of content out there, dude. So that's what's happening to some of these guys, dude. They've been able to live and survive off their brand because they built fan bases. Same thing with Sony. They have a brand. They have a fan base. Disney Marvel, Disney Star Wars. Well, Disney Star Wars is dead, but Disney Marvel's still hanging on, dude. I'm not gonna lie, dude. I was hyped about the Comic Con this year, and they look to be making changes. Hopefully, they can turn it around. This is why I don't stress like Japanese games coming to Xbox, dude. If you're not gonna bring your stuff here, if you're not gonna bring your stuff to me, dude, I'm not. Then you just lose out, dude. You lose me becoming a fan, or you lose my money, or more importantly, me becoming a fan of your product. Dude, because once I'm into something, dude, I'm into something. Yeah, just let me show this real quick. Arthur Chronicles. It's on Netflix, dude. Netflix. TVN is the one. I mean, that's the great thing about Netflix, dude. What Netflix does is, especially if they're doing content from other countries, dude, they'll just partner up. Um, and as far as K drama goes, dude, there's corporations over there, and Netflix will team up with them, man. It's kind of like what Microsoft does with a lot of these developers, and publishers, right? They'll team up with them, help them when they need it, and they get the content on their service, and that's why I've been saying a long time, dude. Like Game Pass, dude, they're just following that same model that Netflix has established, which I think is really smart, dude. So for again, Netflix of gaming, which I 100% agree with. That's the kind of thing they need to be doing. But as far as Netflix is concerned, they'll, a lot of times it's about forking up the money and then bringing it into a new audience, and that helps grow the industry in general, dude. And like I said, dude, you end up with series like these, man, which come out of nowhere and kind of blowing you away. I was the same way with Kingdom. Just another great one. Under the Queen's Umbrella is another good K drama to watch. A lot of their period pieces are really well done. And it's interesting because K drama has gotten so diverse. Again, kind of like how Game Pass is for us as gamers. It's got so diverse that K drama. When you say K drama, people think of like the romantic comedies, the TV soap operas and stuff like that. But K drama encompasses a bunch of different genres. Just like saying pop culture. Pop culture has a lot of different stuff to it right now, whether movies, music, video games, collectibles, all that stuff, right? It's under one umbrella. That's kind of what K dramas are now, dude. So you can watch like one that's a horror, you can watch one that's a fantasy, which is kind of what Arthur is. You can watch zombies. Well, that's the horror part. They got some great science fiction stuff coming out, dude. There's one that came out called Minesweepers that I really love. It's kind of like it's a movie. It's a movie that they did, science fiction movie, and it's funny because it has that little touch of Guardians of the Galaxy, and it's definitely worth watching, man. I could list like over 100 stuff right now that people could be checking out. I need to rewatch. I haven't seen it in so long. Yeah, dude. I wish I would have watched it back in the day. I know the pandemic. They talked about it because the season 2 looks like it's not coming to Netflix, and it took so long for them to do it that the two main actors, well, the one actor and actress that played the two main characters, they're no longer attached to the show, and they're going to get other actors, another actor, another actress to fill those roles, and that's always hard, especially when you watch that first season, man. You get drawn to those two characters, man, and you're just used to seeing them as the actor and actress that portrayed them, right? And it probably took too long. They had the contracts. How it is in South Korea, man. They be hustling over there. I actually love it, dude. It reminds me of when I was growing up, where you know a celebrity or a movie. You didn't know a movie star, celebrity, or a TV actor just because they were in multiple stuff, or they worked for a specific studio. But then that would show how great they was, because even though the person, you knew who he was, it was actually that character that he occupied that made you believe that he was a great actor. Kind of like what Denzel does. Man, Denzel is famous, dude. Everybody knows who Denzel is, but he's able to put himself in these different roles, and he doesn't even really need makeup unless it's to make the character like engross him more into the character, or the character pop from the movie screen and stuff like that. Dude, he can occupy just for his acting, dude. And that's kind of what Hollywood is missing. I'm not saying entertainment's not good and stuff like that, but I mean, for a person like me, it's very noticeable. Hey, what's up, Tool Man? Yeah, we're just doing a quick one today, man. Just an all-in chat, dude. If you guys got questions, man, definitely hit me up. We can talk about it. But I do want to touch on some topics that was going on with Xbox this week. We might be a little bit all over the place, but I'll let the chat dictate that today. And then, but I kind of do want to talk about some specific things when it comes to Xbox. And I'm gonna tell you what, man. The Brotherhood brought it this week, man. I watched Hebot's podcast today, or his video that he did in the morning. I wrapped up Unlimited did one last week, or no, this what was it, Wednesday? So 2 days ago, I actually wrapped that up this Thursday morning. I watched it Wednesday, wrapped it up Thursday morning, and then Sega Man and E-Rock did a video together, man. So yeah, dude, I've been eating good, man. As Sega Man would say, I've been eating good on this podcast. And then Tuck dropped one as well. So I just finished up Tuck's this afternoon before I headed home. Yeah, I was lucky, man. They gave us a hour off, 50. We call it a 59-minute rule, dude, and we got that. So I booked, man. As soon as that clock hit like 2:30, I was out. Because I did want to come back, man, and I did want to come in because I was thinking I might have to do this podcast tomorrow morning. But like I said, keep it hour and a half. Uh, I mean, we could go for 2 hours. I got that much time. But there's some stuff that I got to do this evening. That I have to do because I was so caught up in this in this show that I was talking to Devontae about, man. Arthur Chronicles, dude. It sucked up a lot of my time, so I gotta really catch up on some stuff, especially stuff around the house. And I also want to play my games, dude. I bought a couple games I want to try out. Shout out to Hebot, man, the Manzinger stuff game. I finally bought that one. It was on sale. And it's not that it was on sale, dude, but because it was on sale, it was back on my feed, and so I had forgotten about it, dude. I do that a lot with games because there's just too many. I can't keep up with the games on the Xbox side. Again, of all these people sitting out here that Microsoft is going to kill Xbox, you're not going to get another console. All these guys sitting here saying that Xbox is done, Xbox has no games, dude. Don't listen to these people. I've been saying that for a while, man, but even more so now than ever. Right? It's always the sky is falling. These people don't have no insiders. These people have no inside information. Your guess is about as good as them. I think your guess is probably better. You have a more educated guess than these guys do because we actually play the game and we occupy the ecosystem and we actually own the console. It is, eventually these consoles might go away, man, but it's not. It has nothing to do with what these people say is the problem. Right? Outside of the economy, which these guys don't even talk about that, dude. I'm like one of the few channels that talks about that because it matters, right? It's probably one of the reasons certain things are not happening that we discussed for the last 2 years when it comes to Xbox, as far as acquiring stuff and the stuff that they have to go through. Some of the games shifting, um, all of that stuff, dude. It's definitely having an effect on it. But Microsoft is one of these companies that they don't do stuff on the fly, dude. They plan this stuff out, as you can tell. I mean, Microsoft proper is run by Satya Nadella, dude, and that guy is he's very open, man. He's fluid, man, but he lays groundwork, dude. You have to have a plan, dude. When you're a $1 trillion company, man, you can't just spitball stuff, dude. You gotta come correct, right? And that's one of the things I love about Microsoft actually being a part or um, owning outright Xbox, but being a part of the Xbox ecosystem as far as what they can bring, and not just money, dude. I mean, resources, support. Right now, you see more than ever that Xbox gets a lot of focus. This is why you do get a lot of negativity, and if the negativity is warranted, and it's not necessarily bad, dude. I mean, like proper negativity in the sense of like when you have Microsoft really backing your product, you have investors you got to deal with, dude. You got the arms of the media that's outside of the gaming circle, right? That'll focus on this kind of stuff, man. Because when they breathe, or when they speak, people listen. I'm talking about Microsoft proper. So a lot of money being involved, they have a lot of contracts, man. They have a lot of stuff going on, and not in the States, but all over the world. So they're definitely a player that people pay attention to, right? So I just wanted to put that out there, dude. Don't listen to these guys, man. I tell you again, man. Destin, I know guys been talking about that. I don't follow Destin McGarry, but I see stuff that people post on social media. Keep up with it. I know that he said some stupid stuff, trying to justify his reasoning behind why Xbox is doing what they're doing, focusing on console sales. Right, that should tell you right there that this guy is not. He's stuck in the past, dude. All of these guys are stuck in the past, man, because they grew up in a gaming. They grew up in a gaming, a time in gaming where gaming was not the focus, dude. It was the business, And people might ask, is Sega, is that the same thing? I'm like, no, dude. There's the gaming part, which is the culture, which I talk about all the time on this channel, and there's the industry aspect of it where these guys grew up in. A lot of these guys, man, these guys came along when the PlayStation. This is why they have this kind of mindset, and they keep on talking about the same things like it's still the '90s. And Xbox has given us a roadmap, especially for you guys who bleed green. We have a roadmap for Xbox, dude. We have a plan. Microsoft, you just gotta get used to the fact that Microsoft and Xbox can't tell you every single thing, man. Because again, like I say all the time, dude, when things get leaked, when something bad get leaked, or something that shouldn't been leaked gets leaked, dude, that's decimals move, decimal points move, man, and people get held accountable for that kind of stuff. So just enjoy, man, and you don't need, honestly, dude. Look, I don't promote people being ignorant or blindly, just follow things blindly. But what I will say is because a lot of these guys don't know what they're talking about, it's just best to play games. As Unlimited says, dude, that's what he's been doing. Dude, his Unlimited's footprint on social media is nil at this point. I mean, I follow him on X and other channels and stuff like that. I mean, aside from the stuff he does on his YouTube channel, and if you've seen some of the content he's producing, he's switching it up, dude. Because at the end of the day, man, there's only so much you can say. I think E-Rock talked about that too on the Exile podcast, was saying, man, it's like talking to a wall at some point. So you're gonna have to make your adjustments, man. And one of the things I highly recommend is don't listen to any of these people, man. Look, you got to go out there, you got to get some gaming news, but just use a little bit of, just like I said, dude, like I do on my channel, dude. There's an ebb and flow to this kind of stuff, dude. There's patterns that you can recognize really quickly, right? Just there's talking points that are said, and once you just watch just for a little bit, and then you listen to these guys for a little bit, you'll be able to pick it up real fast. That don't waste your time. Just move on, dude. That's what I do. It's like, why should I listen to Digital Foundry or any of these other websites or any of these other influencers when I could be doing something like watching an hour and 19 episode, an hour and 19 minute episode for the show that I enjoyed, Arthur Chronicles. I could spend my time watching one episode and knocking that out instead of watching these people's videos, right? Or I could be playing my games, which is what I've been doing. Right? Like I said, highly recommend Black and White. Pretty cool, fun game, man. Again, Annapurna did it. Downloaded a couple other games which I'm gonna fire off today. Playing the usual stuff, dude. It's just nonstop. I was looking through my library of stuff since I bought a couple games, and I have more games than I know what to do with. I'm never not gonna have anything to play. Is my point. So, yeah, Tomamba, welcome, brother. Great to have you here. Fonte. I never expect Korean shows to get second seasons. Shows like Sweet Home and Kingdom were outliers. Yeah, and that's something that Netflix really needs to start considering. Because what it does for me, Vontae, because sci-fi, so I don't know if you guys, there's a channel, they used to call it the Sci-Fi Channel way back in the day. And they used to come out with TV shows just like every other channel did, or every cable network did. Like USA Network, TBS, right? They had their original content. ABC, CBS. I know you guys grew up like me, man. You guys remember watching, Friday night blocks or Monday night television blocks that they had on there. Like I know Friday night I used to watch Family Matters, Perfect Strangers. They just had a slew of shows that you would watch on a particular day during a particular time, right? And families actually made time to watch these. That's how good these shows were. And so Sci-Fi Channel, man, they actually did original content. I mean, they did a great job with Battlestar Galactica. There's some other stuff on their channel that I enjoyed, but over time, what ended up having a Sci-Fi Channel, and this probably was due to cost and stuff like that, right? And but still, cable was the norm then. You know what I mean? You paid your price, and you got all these channels, most of which you didn't watch. But Sci-Fi Channel, absolutely love, man. They had great content. But what they ended up doing, man, is they would put these shows together. You'd buy into it, and then they'd end up canceling them. Warehouse 13. One of my favorite shows that they did. They actually did some original movies that was pretty good as well. But I think maybe it's because of the cost and the stuff that they had to do. They couldn't really hold that level like other shows could, like other cable channels could. And so a lot of that stuff ended up falling to the wayside. And so that's what kind of bothers me about Netflix, man. It reminds me of what Sci-Fi Channel you did. And not just Sci-Fi Channel, other channels as well, man. USA had a killer lineup, man. They had at one point in time what's it named? Oh my gosh, I can't remember it. They had Michael Anthony Hall. Shoot, I can't remember. They had Monk. Let me see. I gotta look this up. But they just had all these shows, man, that was just amazing. People would tune in to watch, man. And Monk was like one of my favorite shows. I want to look this up, dude. Burn Notice, that was another one that I loved. Dude, what's that other one with the two detectives? Anyway, they just had a bunch of shows that was worth watching, and that you would spend the time, man, and watching this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So let me get back on this. Yeah, so I mean that's something that Netflix has to do. Really does. In fact, there's one thing I love about Game Pass. Game Pass understands that because they know that they got to keep the audience engaged, but they also know video gamers consume content, right? So when you see a lot of the stuff that they put out there, I mean, Hi-Fi Rush probably would say that I'm wrong. And we'll talk about the Hi-Fi Rush thing, man, because I feel like me personally, man, there's more to that than meets the eye, dude, and not necessarily about the money aspect of it. There's a money component to it, but I mean, we all heard what happened with ZeniMax Online, and when they came to Microsoft and what they were talking about, dude. I think it has more to do with other stuff aside from that because, and again, we'll touch on that, but yeah. So I understand 100% Vontae, dude. I don't like that either. I don't like that at all, dude. In fact, Kingdom, what did it have? 2 seasons, right? 2 or 3 seasons. I think they had 2 seasons. Then they had Sword of Ashen. Not sure, or Ashen of the North was they did a 2-hour movie, which was awesome, which was kind of a prequel, right? But then they never continued it, man. And I know a lot of people um, was expecting them to do a season 3 because they could have. I think what hurts me the most with Arthdal, dude, is that they had so much. I mean, one of the people I work with, she basically told me that there's a cliffhanger, right? And but what she didn't, but she wasn't like, so she kind of told me that because she knew, like, when it came to the last episode that I watched, dude, there was multiple cliffhangers, dude, because there's multiple storylines going on. So I thought they were gonna wrap some stuff up, and then the last several episodes, there was some stuff that they threw in there, right, to kind of like sprinkle even more storylines that was going to pop up in the second season because they had the overall arc of what's happening with the main guy, right? Because they were a federation of tribes, and then this dude steps in and he does the red wedding moment, right, for for this television show, and they basically he's going to become a king, and then they have the girl who I really liked. She's going to be like the spiritual leader, and so there's a conflict that, and then they also had rebellions going on outside of the kingdom, right? Within the kingdom, well, it's not really a kingdom, right? But outside of the land where they were of Arthal, right? And all this, in fact, was that the name? Arthal or Arthron? Anyway, there had all this stuff going on, and then there was a rebellion going on outside, and all of this stuff was going to come to a head, and that's what I was looking forward to in season 2. And then there's going to touch on all the other stuff because there's a lot of, like Game of Thrones, there was a lot of stuff going on, a lot of backstabbing, which made it really interesting. There's some stuff that happened that even threw me off, caught me by surprise. So I thought it was cool, man. Really cool. It's sad that again the pandemic happened. They couldn't go on with the season. I think that really hurt them. You know, this is like a lot of businesses right now. Hebot was talking about that early on his video, talking about how the pandemic kind of messed up everything. I know it had an effect, man, because the momentum that Xbox had. Thank God, like I always say, thank God Xbox is rich. They can weather the storm that other people cannot. Sniper Eric. Hey, what's up, Sniper Eric, brother? Sniper Eric says, you heard about the economy crashing? Yeah, dude, it's bad. It's out there, dude. It's I saw a really good meme, man, on X that I absolutely love, where it has these guys standing around and they're basically saying that they're the old, that the people that were standing there were Newport, so they didn't know a time when it was like the Newport, and then the guy's like, "Are you guys gonna be okay?" He goes, "Oh yeah, we're fine. We're old port." That's where I'm at. There's a comedian of Lavelle Crawford who talked about that. Like somebody's trying to tell him about inflation. And he goes, inflation? I don't know about that, dude. I've been eating peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I live at my mom's. I've been living in my mom's house eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for a long time. The sad thing about the economy, though, is dude, that there will be no respite, man, if things keep on getting worse and if it crashes. Like a lot of times when things go bad, people are able to kind of like course correct or cut their budgets and stuff like that. But if it crashes, dude, it'll be really bad. But yeah, welcome to the podcast, bro. Welcome. Um, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how everything goes, man. I know I said on other videos, man, I'm going to try to keep it a little bit focused. Um, but again, this isn't all in chat, so whatever you guys want to talk about is fine with me. But I do want to cover the whole Hi-Fi Rush thing. You know, if you guys naturally, you guys bleed green, so you know what happened. I'd have to go over the entire story about what happened with Hi-Fi Rush, right? Just really quickly, Microsoft sold Tango GameWorks as well as the rights to the IP to Krafton Inc. If you guys didn't know, Krafton Inc. Operates out of South Korean company, right? And I did a little bit of a deep dive on them. It's actually pretty cool. They're most known for PUBG. A lot of people will. Oh, sorry guys, I lost something. A lot of people will know that game and will know them by that name, right? And they're actually they've kind of consolidated and kind of grown, and they've gotten investments, man. In fact, I think they went public. And then Krafton used to be called something else, man. I gotta go look a little bit deep into it. So basically, I'm not saying it's exactly like Embracer, but it's kind of like an Embracer thing going on, dude. A lot of people, when they talk about these kind of things, dude, or they look at the big money, the big dollars, they automatically go to greed. Look, dude, it takes money to make money, especially in this industry, as you guys are seeing, as you guys are experiencing. Especially you dudes on the Sony side, man, who swear by your company and your console and your games, man. If I couldn't do it. I could not do it, man. You guys, I know you guys put up a good front, man. That you guys will hook, line, and sinker anything Sony and or Sony PlayStation, man. You guys will hold the line. Kudos to you, man. I wish we had a little bit more of that on the Xbox side, not the mindless zombies type of stuff, but a little bit of backbone. But man, you guys are true believers, man. You guys will not be shook. You guys will hold the line. It's amazing to watch, dude. Even after all this stuff that your company's going through, the possibility of the trauma that your company could be facing within a few short months. Definitely going into next year. But I mean, you guys be you, man. Like I said, this is more of an Xbox channel, right? That's what we focus on here. But yeah, but Krafton, they're up and coming, right? And kudos to them. Hopefully, they're successful, man. One of the reasons why they were able, that they did Hi-Fi Rush. Reading a couple articles, from what I gather, they already have a relationship with Microsoft, right? With the whole thing with PUBG. I feel bad for them because PUBG, it was that next big thing, and then Fortnite came and just basically pulled the rug out from under them, with the type of mechanics and gameplay that it had. And then once Call of Duty jumped on board, dude, I never saw Call of Duty ever do that before. Like actually copy. Well, I guess you could say zombies was kind of like that, but I didn't look at it that way because the zombies is just a fad that gets popular. Everybody was doing zombie stuff, but I mean, they literally did a battle. They did a PUBG like game, man, and that's how I knew that it was going to be huge as far as that genre, right? And it's still going strong to today, man. Like Warzone is played still on Call of Duty. I know there's a lot of stuff being said about the amount of cheating that goes on in those games. It is what it is. But that's so whatever. I always liked them, dude. They always supported Microsoft. Microsoft also invested in them as well. Promoted them and all that kind of stuff. They have, like I said, they have a good relationship. So I could see why this happened the way that it did. I'm glad. I mean, for all the people out there that are getting accused of being shills from Microsoft and Xbox, or not holding Xbox to the fire somehow. Dude, I'm all for it, dude. I'm 100% behind it, dude. And I can't be called a shill, man, because I've been talking about Xbox actually working with South Korean developers for the longest time, publishers, game makers, and I know they're reaching out, and I know they have a footprint there. But I definitely feel like the same type of energy Microsoft puts into Japan, I would prefer them to put into South Korea. Right? And I've talked about this on numerous videos, man. Again, South Korean or Korean pop culture is huge, man. It's huge in the sense of it reminds me of how big Japanese pop culture was back in the 70s, late 70s, early 80s, and mid 80s going into the 90s. Right? I mean, it had an influence on a lot of things, and that's where you find, at least I find, Korean pop culture in entertainment, as far as movies, music, shows, content. Dude, they're starting to do their own type of anime. They're doing their own type of mangas called manguas. Right? I probably pronounced it wrong. If my daughter was here, she'd probably yell at me. That's fine. I'm old. Um, but they have the pulse of pop culture in in Asia proper, and I'm talking Southeast Asia, even China, and Japan, dude. Their popularity, their products across the board, very popular. Dude, you see Hyundai. Hyundai was a joke here in the U.S. years ago, and look at them now. I saw one of the newest cars. That neighbor bought it. Dude, it looks amazing. Right? And they do the things that America used to do back in the day, as far as industry and business, looking at things not just in scale, but in trends, right, and how things move. Right, that's what made our entertainment industry and our gaming industry and stuff like that so huge, because we set standards. We had originality and stuff like that, but you had a lot of people that had a love for this kind of stuff, and they had their finger on the pulse. And you always need that. You always need that. This is why some of our biggest industries are suffering right now, dude, because we don't have those type of visionaries, and we don't have those people, um, that can do that can do that have that creative juices as well as the business acumen. And then when you have somebody like that, these people get attacked and they look as greedy because you're living in a time right now where people equate money just automatically with greed, right? Money, like everything else, is a tool. How do you use it? You can use it for good. You can use it for evil, right? You see, a lot of times, and in my frustration in my videos, when I talk about Microsoft, that I wish they were a little bit more evil. I'm not gonna lie, with the way that they conduct themselves in their businesses and stuff like that. But they're successful and it's worked out for them. And then I got to check my own ego, right? And my own, like the way I would like things to be done, dude. I can't, I can't hold them to. I can't be hypocritical, you know, as well, man. I call people out for doing that, and then I'm doing it myself out. If I got to call myself out. I'll throw myself under the bus, dude, because that's not how I want to be. Hey, what's up, Gogo? Xbox dead. Rest in peace. Buy Concord and be happy. Yeah. Dude, did you what's that, Helldivers 2? I heard that it was supposed to be coming over. I actually saw some video on it just because that's probably it's funny, dude. I put stuff in for PlayStation, like just to get some figures and numbers, just to be a little bit more well-rounded in my thought process. And it was the first couple of stories are all about Xbox. But one of the things I did say was they were talking about Helldivers. And so yeah, I don't know, man. They're saying that it might come over here. If it comes over, I'll give it a shot, dude. The premise sounds cool. Some of my friends play it, dude, because they're like me. They're big. What's the name of that show, dude? Starship Troopers. I love Starship Troopers. I actually played the game. I mean, or watched the movies right first, and then I've actually had the books that I was listening to. Books totally different from the movies. It was such a stark contrast, but I love the books just as well. I enjoy both. Surprisingly, it's usually people that like the movies can't stand the show, and the people that like the movies don't like the books, and people that like the books don't like the movie. So. But I love them. I love them both. But I'm able to put them in two separate boxes, dude. I can see why both sides complain. I get it. But yeah, that's the general consensus, man. That's why I'm kind of talking about it right now. Pony's going crazy for Forza Horizon 5. They're dying for a real good. Oh yeah. That's what he bought. I know. The guys were talking about that as well. We can touch on that too. I mean, for me personally, dude, I've known it's been a great game since like what is it? Metropolis, way back in the day. Dude, that was an awesome game, man. And they just basically took that and rolled it up into Forza. And then of course you have the Horizon series, like you're talking about, dude. It's just a well done, well respected franchise. But it's probably one of the, if not the best franchise. I'm not gonna lie to you for Xbox. But again, Xbox has no games. And this is what's killing them right now, dude. And that's why they got to switch the narrative, right? Because all the stuff that they relied on, because of the economy, because Sony doesn't have that type of capital where they can spend their way. They've been trying to do it, dude, but it's not been working out for them. And people just aren't buying games, dude. I'm not going to go on my massive rants where I call people non-gamers and rant on the economy for 2 hours, but it's the reality of it. And that game plan, that roadmap that Sony was doing, it's failed. Right? It no longer works, dude. They're not able to do it, and they're not able to continue it because, again, if they had the money, dude, they would have picked up a lot of studios. They would have bought AKB. That's why they fought so hard against it. Dude, it was wonderful to watch, dude. I enjoyed every minute of that. I'm not gonna lie, dude. It was absolutely amazing, right? But again, speaking of AKB, man, getting back on point with this, dude. Like when it comes to Hi-Fi Rush, there's something else, dude. There's something else that's going on with that story, man, because it doesn't make sense. And the fact that Microsoft is broke or they're worried about investors and money, right? Because if that was the case, there's a lot of games that Microsoft is backing. A lot of these games you play on Game Pass, man, they put a lot of money. Most of the time they put the money up front, right? And even Hebot was talking about that on his video, how Game Pass operates. Right. So a lot of the times, man, you look at this stuff going on and you're like, no, it doesn't make sense, dude. Because if that was the case, then why aren't they doing that with every other game? Because they would be pulling back, dude. When companies have these kind of problems, dude, there's a pattern to it again. Right. It wouldn't just be one, it just wouldn't be Tango Gameworks. It would be other people. And then of course the news that came out that Matt Booty made the call, and the reason Matt Booty made the call was because ZeniMax asked him to, right? They did a reassessment of where they were, and they probably have too much stuff they can't handle it all, can't juggle. They probably do have a budget in that sense, right? Dude, I work in a budgeting office now, so I can see it firsthand. You know, a lot of the stuff I was doing outside. Not that I see the I's dotted and the T's crossed and the numbers shifting, right? I can understand it a little bit better, appreciate it a little bit more, like what it takes to keep um, the division I work for, you know, moving on all four and not hitting any hiccups. Because you're gonna hit hiccups, right? And so it doesn't make sense to me, bro. It just doesn't. Because if it was about a money thing, if it was about Xbox being broke, if Game Pass was in trouble, man, then you would see this happening more than just more than just to one company or to one studio. And they still pursue on, man. Like you can see, like they haven't missed a beat. Any of their shows that they do, man, when they get in, when they interview the people, everybody seems upbeat. Everybody seems happy, dude. As you can tell in other areas of tech industry that's struggling right now, dude. And these people have no poker faces, dude. When you talk to these people or when these guys vent, which I would highly recommend, dude. If you lose your job, don't lose your mind, right? Because eventually you're gonna have to put in a resume, right? And you live in and you work in a tech industry where a lot of people do stuff face to face. Dude, it's easy to pull up your history. Right, dude. If somebody's being cutthroat, man, they might put your stuff on blast. So maybe your company might see that, dude. You can lose out on an opportunity. Don't lose your mind, right, dude? Just chill. Right? I know you guys are a different generation, man, millennial and Z, right? But don't do that kind of stuff, dude. That stuff will come back to bite you in the ass. Trust me. Yeah, dude. I don't. I find that hard to believe, dude. How are they gonna afford that? How are they gonna afford putting Forza Horizon 5 on Sony, man? Why would Xbox want to do that? And then if Microsoft, if I'm just saying, if Microsoft did do something like that, dude, they're gonna get roasted. They're gonna get roasted from the PlayStation guys. They're gonna get roasted from the Xbox guys. I can tell you one of the stories that's gonna come up. If Forza Horizon 5 goes to Sony, dude, everybody's gonna bring up Hi-Fi Rush again. I don't think they have plans to do that. It just doesn't make sense to me. For the same reason that a lot of the guys are saying that they're gonna get Game Pass on Sony. Right. I mean, it doesn't make sense to me in that sense. And again, I come from the perspective of Sony. Why would you want to do that? You're basically becoming a secondary console for Microsoft. You know, it's not going to be worth the money, dude, because you're not going to make well unless Microsoft gives you like a 50-50 split, which I don't see that happening. Right? They kind of discussed that with the Activision thing, right? How Microsoft was kind of held out to dry on that. What is it like 30-70? When everybody was 20-80, if I'm not mistaken, they did that. So for me, man, I don't. It's not even a concern for me at this point. Yeah, HD2. I heard not too far from Xbox release. Same with Final Fantasy 16. Yeah, yeah. I mean, if they do, I mean, I know that there's people that want to play these games. That's fine. I mean, I don't care either way. I mean, I'll try it out. If it comes, I'll try HD2 just to see if it's what everybody says it is, man. I mean, it looks kind of cool. I like the video that they showed. I forgot what conference, what when I was watching, and they showed the trailer, and I thought the trailer was kind of cool, man, because it did remind me of Starship Troopers. When people are saying it's just like Starship Troopers, it made me think of that video that they released because it had that same type of like they do in Starship Troopers, man. When it's like want to know more, or if you want to do your part, they do this really. It's kind of a play on the stuff that we did in the 50s during World War, or was it 30s and 40s, World War One and Two. But dude, I'm game, man. Like, bring it on, bro. No problems. Yeah, I also think a lot of the issues with Tango might have come from Bethesda. Yeah. Well, I think yeah, and then like Dale was saying this on Unlimited, which I 100% agree. Dale was talking about this on Unlimited's podcast, where I think it's 100% has to do with Murakami leaving, uh, or was it Murakami leaving, and then the talent that he took with them, um, and then a slap in the face is that he did create another company, so he didn't want to be there. To me, it's just like I think he just should have been honest, from the jump. And then again, dude, and then I'll get into this now. This is again Microsoft, dude. Just pivot, dude. Pivot, dude. Japan is not all of that, dude. They have great games. I love Path of the Goddess, dude. What Microsoft has right now for Japan, I mean, there's a lot of people that are like, "Oh, we need more." No, dude, this is fine for me. Okay, I'll just put myself up. For me, this is fine, dude. We have JRPGs, Right at the end of the month, we're getting the Mana games, right, or one of the Mana games. I don't know if it's a remaster and stuff like that. Definitely will pick that up, dude. It looks good. Right? I like that type of RPGs. I'm playing Yurden Chronicles. It's one of the games on my list. I gotta jump back into it, dude. I have Nino Kuni. I have Fuga, Melodies of Steel. I think I gotta buy number 2 still yet. Dude, there's games that I just went ahead and purchased. Games that I'm playing. Got the Persona series. Right, got all the stuff Sega's doing. I'm good, man. I'm good. Path of the Goddess is awesome. If these guys don't want to play ball with you, man, then don't play ball with them. I'm telling you guys. But I'm telling you, I'm just gonna say this again to Microsoft, dude. You are that dude that's in love with this girl and she doesn't love you back, dude. Or she doesn't even like you back. Right? You have lunch with her, she you're good for a couple laughs, right? And then but at the end of the day, dude, she's gonna go out with the jock and you're gonna be stuck there all up in your feelings, man. Just I appreciate the hard work they're doing. They built bridges. Sarah's awesome. They've done this too, but at some point in time, man, if these guys don't want you, man, there's other fish in the sea, right? In fact, if you just go across the Sea of Japan, right, or the Yellow Sea, or however, because these guys have issues about calling it whatever. If you just jump across that, right across the pond, dude, there's this peninsula, right, and it's called, and at the end of the peninsula, there's the area called South Korea, right, and they're the new Japan, they're the new punk rock. So you go over there, dude. You plant your flag. You already kind of did, right? But from the guys I follow online, man, you are not doing enough, dude. If you're gonna put all that time and money in Japan, dude, just course correct. Because I'm telling you right now, dude, they're the epicenter of everything that's pop culture in Asia right now. They just are. Dude, you want to get brand recognition, and they old school. A lot of these countries in Asia are old school with the way that you promote stuff, right? Tell Aaron Greenberg and his boys to get up and his crew to get up on that. And I'm telling you, man, you can change it. Bethesda looks like it was already going to go through a layoff before being. Oh yeah, being bought by MS. Yeah, they that's the reason why they sold. 100% agree, bro. But that's another reason why, man. It's like, look, dude, you want to expand your market? You want to reach another audience of people, right? I'm telling you, dude, just jump across that pond, go to South Korea, dude. Put all the time and energy in there, right? I take your chance with them, dude, because Japan's pretty much told you, look, we don't want to play ball. They like you when they need you, and but that's few and far between. Right? And I'm not saying to totally cut the ties with them, dude, because I like the content. I actually like what you guys are doing, dude. Just start looking at other spots, man. Look at Southeast Asia, like you guys been doing. I'm telling you, man. There's this whole area, but you got to be like the pioneers of old, right? It's just like gold was discovered in this one part, like in Colorado. It's time to move on over to California. There's a lot of booty out there to be had, man. Just switch your gears, man. Change your focus a little bit. Because I mean, you're always going to be tied to Japan. Dude, you built relationships, you have ties there. It's just that it's time to time to look at greener pastures is what I'm trying to say. Right? Because at the end of the day, man, if you guys grow, I talk about this a lot on my channel too. If you guys hit the full potential that I feel you guys can, and not even full potential, it's 50% potential, man, by getting Game Pass to be on the level of Netflix and having all these subscribers, none of these people will be able to ignore you. You wouldn't have to go or you wouldn't have to make phone calls. These people will be hitting you up. And then the narrative will switch. People will still hate you, but they'll hate you because you're successful. They hate you because they can't get their game on your system. They hate you because there's too much competition, which is a perfectly great problem to have in your guys' situation. And hopefully, you guys will kill off Sony in the process. H2D is good, just needs more content. Yeah, that's what I heard people are saying. Yeah, I got you, bro. I got you. No worries. MS is a $3 trillion company. They're beyond puppy love. Yeah. Well, I don't know, dude. I mean, I agree with you, dude. They should not be. They should not be so enamored with Japan, dude. I mean, if this was the '80s, I would understand. If this was the '90s, I would understand. If they like how they kind of came into the market, and Japan, dude, Japan, yeah. I mean, it's one of the reasons why they came into the market because of Sony, right? But it's not the same. Sony is definitely not the same, and Japan doesn't have that clout anymore, man. They just don't. America took that over a long time ago. The West did, I should say the West did. But America, of course, being one of the biggest consumer markets. This is why everybody plays like COD and everybody plays like Fortnite games like that. The West basically sets the standard, right? But when it comes to the and then I want to say this, dude. When it comes to a lot of these people that talk about it, dude, it's very small amount. Yeah, they might be in the millions, right? But they're not in the hundreds of millions, and they're not in the billions, like we all say all the time, dude. It's all about the normies, man. It's about the general public who participate in your hobby that you or come into the space that you're occupying right now. Right? When they come in and bring the money, that's when things really change. Right? That's just keep that stuff in mind, dude. All these guys that are complaining, all these dudes, like I see all these publications in Europe. I can't wait till gaming media is dead, dude. They serve absolutely no purpose except for me to make videos complain about it. But true, I think Phil knows Japan is a lost cause. He just wants the content that makes Game Pass viable. No, 100% Google. And that's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying for him to like go all Harry Carey on this stuff, dude. No, just talk to him, smile, do what they do. I'm telling you, man, just do what the Japanese do. Just be like, oh yeah, thank you, yeah, and then you then just turn and walk away. Uh, that's learn from them, right? Just learn from them, right? Don't get taken advantage of, right? Stand your ground. These people will screw you over, man. When you dominate this industry like I know you can, they'll come back, and then you can really put the screws on them. I know, guys. I know that sounds bad. That's sorry. That's just the way. But yeah, good point, Google. And we'll see how that goes, dude. We'll see how that goes. Hey, Toolman says, "What's up?" Let's see. Let me try and shift. Where's the other one? Yeah. So imagine if, like, hold on. Let me put this up there, dude. Let me go look up something real quick. But just imagine, dude, if this company Krafton does blow up, and then Microsoft has like ground floor access to a lot of the stuff that they'll be producing. And so, what I would like to see, again, going back to the AKB deal, when all this stuff was revealed, how Microsoft was looking at buying just a bunch of different companies just for the content. I mean, now they have 34 studios. I think they could go beyond that with 50. That's just me, right? That's just my opinion. The sky's the limit when it comes to Microsoft. Um, but then we saw stuff we weren't supposed to see. The leaks that we saw, right? And one of the things I love is that they actually showed them a lot of the companies Microsoft is working with right now. They were in talks with them for a long time, either to possible acquire, working out deals. And I'd like to see that happen with Krafton. I'm not saying that Microsoft has to go out and buy them, right? Or companies like Pearl Abyss in South Korea. I wouldn't be opposed to it just so they can get a footprint in South Korea because it's still relatively. And I'm not saying, look, dude, I'm not trying to insult the country there, saying that there's no gaming or gaming industry stuff like that. But I mean, as far as they're still pretty young and still pretty new. And Microsoft getting in with them now I think can really help them and have them have a presence. And I saw the marketing, man. They actually got some top tier actors to do the Xbox commercials, man. That's what you need to do, right? But establish those relationships, keep those relationships, establish them a little bit more, and then get those working relationships going. It's the same thing that's going on with Toys for Bob, right? And I think it was Dale that talked about that or Unlimited. They made a great point. Um, Toys for Bob is basically still working with Microsoft, even though Microsoft let them go, gave them their freedom, right? And that's the thing I do like about Microsoft, how they keep those connections and keep those working relationships. That's why a lot of the times when things don't work out, like this stuff with Hi-Fi Rush and Tango, man, I don't. To me, man, it's not on the Xbox side, guys. I'm sorry, I can't see that, dude, because I don't see them doing that with anybody else. And there's a lot of that. There'll be a whole bunch of evidence that you would see if that was the case, man. I don't believe that one bit at all. So, I mean, you can disagree with me, man. That's my opinion. That's the way I look at it. Just being honest. Hold on, I'm lost, dude. But yeah, so with Krafton, man, build those relationships, get a footprint in there, and then once you do that, dude, and you start building with the companies over there, and then a lot of other people will come in, man, and then you have to compete with the Tencents and Nintendos and all these other people, right? Because it'll grow exponentially. But you already have your foot in the door, and then through that pop culture that's in Korea, you can go out into the rest of Southeast Asia, or the rest of Asia, but Southeast Asia especially, and even in South America, dude. Popular Korean pop culture is popular in South America as well, and in the U.S. too, and in Europe, with places like France and a couple countries over there, right? And so that's what I would do, man. If I was them, bro, I would use that as a stepping stool, as a leaping point. Go, I sent you an invite if you wanna jump in. I sent on Twitter. Um, but to me, man, that's the foot in the door um, that they can use to help diversify their portfolio even more and to actually become a threat in Asia. And do it now, man, while the iron's hot. If you wait a little bit too long, this can all turn upside down. There are some stuff rumblings going on. Pretty sure you heard about that, Vante, right? With a lot of stuff going on with Korean pop music and some of the drama stuff, right? I mean, with the P, the Western influence on this stuff, um, some of these companies that are the lifeblood of the country in Korea, man. These guys are coming under investigation. There's all kind of drama to be said. No, and again, when I look at the stuff that happens in South Korea, for them, that's bad, and I sympathize with them because that's their country. I mean, but I'm an American, right? And so, I mean, the stuff that's going on there, I mean, it's interesting to watch in the sense of it's a big deal. But compared to what we do here, it's like nothing big. We're like involved in like three theaters of conflict, you know? So, the big thing for them is like if somebody like illegally gambled in a foreign country and went on like a drug binge or something like that, you know what I'm saying? Which is not good. I'm not saying that's great. But what I'm saying is just like, okay, well, I see that, and then we'll raise you Ukraine, we'll raise you Ukraine, Russia. So, so I'm just saying, like when we make moves, it's just like it shakes the whole world, right? So, what is that, bro? But true, I think film. Oh, okay, I read that one. Hold on. 2 months is it? Oh yeah, okay. Sorry, I'm a little bit behind. It was bound to happen eventually. With the way they were going. So what, Vontae? Are you cool with that? Do you think that that's good or bad? I mean, I can understand if you're from the country that's being affected. I can understand what you think is bad. I do see opportunity in it. I think the problem with me though with K-pop, dude, is like it's not. It hasn't totally flourished. Where they're trying to introduce multiple aspects of K-pop, and I still think it has room to grow upward before it starts going sideways. Like they can grow more up, become bigger, become stronger. That way, the industry, because there's some stuff in the industry I think they could change to make them bigger, make them stronger, and then start diversifying and going outwards. I think they're too young yet to do some of the stuff they're doing. And I'm not against that, like some of the groups and stuff like that, but K-pop is a brand, dude. It's very what's the word I'm looking for? It's I don't want to sound bad, um, but it's very it's run by businesses. It's basically kind of like what we did with the boy bands in the U.S. back in the day. When I was growing up, man, stuff like Tiger Beat and all that stuff was huge. You know what I'm saying, bro? And so you had your fandoms and stuff like that, but it was for a certain audience, and I think K-pop can go beyond that. I think K-pop at some point can challenge on a level of influence the U.S. pop market. I mean, let me see. I mean, I follow a lot of Koreans, and they have their own opinions on it. Most bad because they're proud Koreans, and they want it that way. But they also say that it's moving way too fast. Yeah, I think it's moving way too fast. And the thing about it is like you kind of see that happening in Japan right now with their industries. So it doesn't bother me as much, man, because Japan kind of been there, done that. But with the Koreans, man, it's like their first opportunity to really strike out there and have some type of influence on the pop culture level. Um, oh, sorry. Oh, I kind of lost everything. Oh, okay, wait, hold on. Okay, I'm back. Sorry. My screen kind of blacked out there for a second. Um, yeah, I don't think people have really experienced the full impact of Korean culture. Um, and I mean, in all what I would consider mostly good. But then there's some bad stuff out there, and and it shows, right? When you have these fans from different parts of the world come in and they have their type of culture and their kind of stuff, and then these guys start to lock horns, right? Because you know Koreans have their own ideals and their own principles, morals, their own society, their own cultural taboos and stuff like that, which other countries don't understand, right? And you see that happening right now in Japan with Assassin's Creed, the game that's going to release right now, or that's going to release this year. But yeah, I agree, man. It's definitely moving way too fast, and there's nothing wrong. That's another thing I see. Like everybody's automatically like, oh, the Koreans and stuff. They just close minded. I'm like, no, dude, that is their culture, dude. And I speak on that, dude, because I'm from Hawaii, bro, and we have our own local culture, dude, and we have a lot of people that come over here. There's a lot of people moving here, and they're not respecting that kind of local style, which is ironic. Is the reason why they moved here is because they like that kind of local style that we have here, but they don't want to accommodate others like everybody else. Right? They're the selfish ones, actually, if I'm being honest. And I don't care, dude. I don't care where you're from. I don't care what race you are. I don't care what color you are. Dude, you can come to Hawaii. That's cool, man. It's a 50th state. Dude, like today was Statehood Day. We celebrated that in the state. That's we're the 50th state, dude. We're part of the America and stuff like that. But just like any place else, dude. If I go to Idaho, dude, I would respect their culture. If I when I went was when I was in California, bro. Didn't agree with some of the lifestyle choices out there, dude. But I'm not. I respected it, dude. I was in the military. Um, I did what I needed to do to avoid conflict, but you know that's not where I'm from, dude. And there's people that you gotta respect that. When I was in Meridian, Mississippi, dude, kind of stood out, bro, because I'm kind of off. I'm a lighter shade of brown. You know what I'm saying? I go to the mall there, dude, and there's only two colors. Right, so when you see somebody like me walking around, dude, they couldn't figure out what I was. Somebody jumped the fence, dude. These looks. That I didn't get offended by it, man, because I understood, dude. That's just the way it is. I grew up in Florida. I grew up in Central Florida, so I used to see a lot of different people, a lot of different cultures, man. Disney World was a magnet for people to come from all over the world, dude. So I met people from Europe. I met people from all over. Grandmother is one of the. She worked at this hotel, dude. Her bosses are from India. They were super cool. Just very tight on money. But that's why they love my grandmother, dude. She didn't like wasting food, dude. They loved her, dude. They cried when she left. When she left that job, they tried to get her to stay. They tried to pay her more, but she felt like she had a higher calling, man, helping my auntie do something else. And bro, when she left, dude, they literally cried. It was funny. I'm sorry, dude. I'm getting caught up in that. So, Vontae, K-pop is still generally new. It's barely over 20 years old, and it's catapulted the country into the spotlight very quickly before the country itself was ready to have that. Yeah, yeah, dude. I mean, there's a. Have you seen Reply 1988, Fonte? It's a K drama on Netflix. I'm pretty sure the answer is yes. You've seen it. I love that. I love that K drama, dude. And it kind of talks about it's kind of like a flashback for them and their 80s pop culture and stuff like that, and the stuff that was influencing them. But yeah, they've come a long way, dude. But I mean, look how long it took our industries here to take off, right? You know what I mean? I mean, it's ingrained within the culture of the U.S., man, and it's been spread all over the world. Um, so just from experience and the stuff that we know here, not trying to tell these people what to do or try to tell anybody what to do, but I'm saying from our experience, man, we know. I think it's happening quickly as well to the point where they're trying to appeal to people. No, so this is my thing, dude. They're trying to appeal to people, um, but they're kind of losing a part of who they are. If that makes sense. You know, sometimes just like a lot of companies here are doing that nowadays because of all the woke stuff, right? They're trying to appeal to a very niche group of people, but they're ostracizing their actual fan base and their core fan bases and the people who actually pay money, or and even the general population that doesn't agree with either the ideology, the politics, the lifestyle, all that kind of stuff. Right. 100% agree though on this comment, dude. Japan handles these things much better than Korea, but Japan's structure was better made to handle it. But I think Korea is way better. I think that's going to flip, Bonte, because Korea is just a little bit more. Um, they're more open. Japan is very. They're very. What's it called that? The I word, dude. Japan is just not as open as South Korea. South Korea is way open, more flexible. Korea is definitely more. Japan is very introverted, and Korea is a little bit more extroverted. I mean, they have their own styles and stuff like their own ways and stuff like that I noticed, but I think they'll be able to flex more um, in their industries than Japan ever will. Because Japan doesn't, some of the stuff that we value, they don't value. South Koreans have their own set of values, but I think we're a little bit more in tune with South Korea than we are with Japan. And right now, I think we got to strike with Microsoft needs to strike with the iron's hot. What was your rate when you were in? I was in SH. Oh yeah, SH. I was a yeoman, dude. YN. I was a YN. I made it up to 3, and they kicked me out, dude. I made YN 3 like I made third class first increment. But then again, they were kind of like shifting numbers and stuff. So I'm not trying to say that I was like, a lot of people made it during my increment of when I tested for third class. But it's very rare. The time that we had to do that's like one of the highest waves of because it's the first time I took the third class petty officer third class exam and I passed, and that's very rare. Usually it takes I mean, not that you can't do it, but normally it takes 2 years. But did it first increment, but then I hurt my knee, and they were like, "Oh, base foreclosures, base cutbacks, your knee, yeah, you're out." It was that fast, dude. And that was fine. I was ready to get out. It was a while ago, but one of the first. Yeah, dude, it's a great watch, dude. I'll put it in a comment section if people want to check it out. It's on Netflix still. It was supposed to leave, but I guess they kept it in because it was so popular. Let me. I messed up. Fine, 1988 on Netflix. Oh my gosh, dude. Can I delete this? Dude, I am telling me I should wrap it up already. Reply 1988 on Netflix. This is what it is right here. Go check it out, guys, man. If you want to watch a really good Korean comedy/drama, really well done, great performances, pretty star-studded cast. If you watch K-dramas, I think the main actress Hiri, I think that's her name. Dude, I absolutely love her, dude. She was me. She was in Girls' Day initially. She was a member of that group. But when she started acting, dude, she really stood up. Dude. Just her expressions and stuff like that. In fact, she does her own like show, I guess, on YouTube. She's a good entertainer. Let's see. So yeah, man. So Xbox continue to keep build those relationships, follow your roadmap, dude. I'm 100% behind it, dude. Keep Matt Booty. Let him work his magic, dude. I've been nothing but impressed with the stuff that he's done, and with Sarah as well, dude. I think they're and the way Phil is, dude. They complement each other so well, which and that's why I'm so confident in Xbox and the future of Xbox because they're able to put teams together that punch way above their pay grade. So with Matt Booty being there, making the tough calls, um, still sticking to that map, dude. If you guys see some of those companies again that was on the charter to be either picked up or work with, man, they're still giving content to Game Pass. I bought a lot of their games just for the simple fact that I love their games. A lot of their games are either very unique, they can be standalone, great story, great writing. Um, they can be very innovative. Uh, a lot of them have really great replay value, so I don't mind pulling the trigger on them because then I'll be playing them over and over again. The only thing I'm having a problem with when it comes to Game Pass is just keeping up with everything and then knowing what I bought and what I didn't buy because it's just way too many games, especially with the amount of sales that they have. I am happy to report that I'm having a good time with the cloud on Game Pass. Haven't had any problems. I'm playing this game called I think it's called Back to Grace, and that I know when I first saw the trailer for it, I wanted to try it out, just based on the premise again and the narrative that was laid out in the trailer. I mean, it hooked me so much that was stuck in my head. It came in the Game Pass, distracted by other stuff, mostly Warhammer, Dark Tide. But then I I wanted to test out the cloud, and one of the games that was standing there, playable on the cloud, was Return to Grace, and I was like, wow, you know what, dude, I want to try it out now. Popped it in, and it started running smoothly. Never had a problem, dude. I made it through past a couple levels, dude. Awesome game, dude. Great writing, great voice acting. The only complaint I have about the game is that there's no run button. They need to put that in there when you're going in between, when you're doing a lot of researching and stuff like that. Trying to great story so far. What is written, you can tell that a lot of thought and a lot of heart went into this game. So much so that I'm just gonna buy it. I could probably knock it out because I've been addicted to it. So I could probably knock it out and just beat it on Game Pass. But I'm definitely gonna drop because I think it's like $14.99 normally, but you can since we have Game Pass, it's like $11.99. Very, I mean, for me, worth the price of admission. Even if I beat it in the next couple of hours, I would like to have it as part of my collection, right? Because that's what I kind of do now, right? We have all these games. These games are well done. These games are awesome. A lot of them are indie games. They don't break the bank, right? They hit like I like to use the term. They hit way above their pay grade. The experiences that you have from it far exceeds the price. So it's worth my dollar, dude. And of course, support the industry. And that's what I tend to do, man. I try to find these kind of offbeat stuff that appeal to me. And again, this is why I'm not crying about Xbox leaving the space or Xbox isn't going to do any consoles anymore. It makes absolutely no sense with the success that they're having profit wise, right? You can't just cut out a console. That's stupid, dude. That's a lot of their money's coming from console guys like myself because I take the time to play the games and take the time to buy the games, open up my wallet, dude, and where they do because I'm old school as well, dude. And that's what they need to get back to. So they need to be there. So if this thing shifts, or then you have a younger generation, like I see that in my daughter and her friends right there. They're kind of a little bit old school as well. So if that thing's ever shifts and it comes back around, you want to be there to meet them. I talked about the interesting that Hepa talked about the pandemic earlier. When I talked about the pandemic and how it affected things as far as Microsoft, I think Microsoft learned a valuable lesson. They were not prepared for a lot of stuff that happened, and nobody was. Let's be honest, nobody was. But had they had the right amount of consoles in place like that could have been a really big shift for them. But I mean, it is. You live and learn, dude. And I think when I see the moves that Microsoft is making, um, I think they won't be caught flat-footed again in anything, dude. Console power, AAA games, AA games, single A games, indie games, everything. They're gonna do everything all at once at one time. So, and I'm all on board for the ride, dude. I have not been disappointed. So yeah, congratulations to Krafton, man. Maybe they can make a get in the market, and I'll be tracking this just for the simple fact that I want to see how far they can go in the Japanese market with the content that they make. Now the content has to be good. Aside from everything I have to say, that I said the content still needs to appeal. It has to be good. But it'd been interesting to watch it. I definitely have my eye on it. Like I still look at I still follow the stuff that's going on with Embracer in Europe. So I thought that was an opportunity for Microsoft to expand their hold in Europe. And again, bad economy. This is why you see the stuff going on as the way it is. Nobody. Well, I mean, I kind of saw it happening, but not on the level. There's not nobody could have predicted that. Not on the level right now. Hold on. Let me double check this. So we got. Sorry, guys. I just want to make sure I cover everything. Yeah, media. I mean, talk a little bit about that, dude. Again, every 2 weeks, man, Microsoft is dead. Right? It's just every month, right? It's gonna pop. It's gonna come back around. So it's no sense in watching gaming media. Some of these influencers, like I said earlier, you hear some of the stuff they said. Just look for the talking points, and they'll all line up in one direction. So then you can just leave those guys behind, and then use your time accordingly, man. Like that's what I'm gonna do, man. Like I said, I'm gonna wrap this up pretty soon, and thank you guys for being here. But I want to wrap it up because I want to get. I got stuff like I said to do around the house, and I'll knock that stuff out, and then I just want to jump on my games. I bought a game called Dead Man's Diary. It looks just really interesting. Love the trailer. I definitely want to go check. I'm going to play that tonight. And I'm not doing myself any favors, but I keep on adding stuff to my playlist. And then of course Dark Tide. The other day I was going to play it, Warhammer Dark Tide, and then there was this update for it, like 5-6 gigs. And I was like, oh, that means they're going to have new content for me to buy if I like it. And I'm going to end up playing that again. right? So as the world turns, man, I mean, it's just a constant. You just gotta. I mean, I'm definitely, I'm proud of myself in this sense, dude. I've disciplined myself with all of this stuff, dude, because it is a chore. If you, I mean, I don't want it to become a chore, man, but I gotta be somewhat organized, man, so I can get some really good game time in, get some time in on these games, right? Even some games that I'm not even might not be interested in, just give it a shot, right? Again, I hope the cloud service, continues to be well done because I don't have to download these games. I can just try from the jump. If I like them more, I'll download it or I'll just straight out buy it. So stop wasting your time, man. Just cut the line with these dudes, man. Do what I do. All you have to do is just wait for people to cover this news on social media or do a YouTube video for people that you trust. Because if it's big news, dude, it'll come back around. Right? Like a lot of these guys right now, they're talking about, and we'll switch out and then I'll be done. But with Gamescom and the way Gamescom is, right? Pretty awesome. Really looking forward to it, dude. I saw the list of games last week, and then people have been talking about it. The guys that I follow a lot of these channels that talk about releases that are coming to Game Pass, stuff that's leaving. They do these best RPGs type videos, just in case I missed something, which sometimes I tend to do, especially now, right when I'm so busy. But yeah, I was watching this channel, dude, and this guy did a breakdown, and he was like, all 50 games. Xbox On even did a video talking about that. We got 50 games coming down the pipe, dude. At Gamescom, dude. When I heard that, I was like, oh, that's crazy, man. I didn't think it'd be that much. Now, this is like stuff that Microsoft has, the studios they own, like Blizzard and Bethesda, as well as third-party people. Again, man, building those relationships, and doing the heavy lifting, man, to get their content on this platform for all of you guys like me and you, who are fans as well as consumers. All right, so shout out to Microsoft for that, dude. But just a quick, I'll just go down to the real list, man, because there's some stuff that I really want to look at, dude. Definitely Age of Mythologies. I talked about this on other videos, dude. It's hands down one of my favorite Age of games, right? Like I love Age of Empires. And Age of Mythology was awesome, especially at the time that it hit, dude. It was like it was definitely a breath of fresh air. If you played Empires 1, Empires 2, 3, 4, right? And kudos to Microsoft for their Age of Empires games, man. The way that they're able to take the PC experience and put it on a controller, or the keyboard and mouse experience, and actually translate that to a controller, and it actually makes sense. It actually works. Reminding me of what they did with Halo back in the day, and it gives me hope for another game that I'm looking forward to getting into is World of Warcraft. Dude, I watched Blizzard's what was it, like about a year ago. Like Blizzard had their showcase, man. I watched that, dude. I was totally blown away by it. Absolutely loved it. And I was looking at World of Warcraft, dude. Like some of the when the guy came up on the stage and he basically laid out their roadmap of what they're going to do as far as the stories in their world and how they're going to do some world building and stuff like that. Dude, if they could ever find a way to get that on the controllers and I can play it on my Xbox, dude, I'll definitely jump in. Told you guys about Diablo, man. I'm not a hater of Diablo, dude. I just think that content kind of worries me a little bit. The stuff that they're doing, but I mean, that's there. I know it's huge. People are looking forward to their next. What is that? Their next. That next. Oh, did I release already? They got content coming out too, man. A lot of the Xbox stuff is like that now. Which kudos to Phil for making the call, man, and the crew for making that call, right? Because it keeps the people engaged. That's how Satya can sit on a showcase and sit there and tell you that 500 million active users, monthly active users, right? That's a big thing, dude. That's what they're shooting for, and they keep on bringing content, and that's another good thing, dude, because they'll add more people as people come in. They'll add more people. Again, I mean, credit to Dark Tide and the PC community for being on there, dude, because I'm able to get into games because at first it's a little bit shaky. Right, and I'm talking. I waited like a little while before I played it, dude. It was on PC first. Could have played on PC Game Pass. Just wanted to wait till it came to console. Came to console, started off pretty strong. Kind of like was hard to get into a couple games, and then all of a sudden it's just a mad rush of people playing it now. So 100% behind that. Dude, I'm gonna shut this off real quick. I'm sorry if I'm missing anybody. I'm bouncing back and forth, guys. Vontae, I don't know if you've seen it, but it's this show on Netflix called Supercell. It was pretty good. Yeah, it popped up on my thing because of the content. I think I put it on my watch list. Probably might not going to be able to get to it right away because I got so much other stuff that I got to catch up on. Right? Yeah, but I saw that, dude. I think I think it was so popular, dude. They got like a season 2 already, right? I think it got greenlit for season 2. I Yeah, you know me, dude. I like superhero stuff, man. And some of the stuff they do on Netflix, like the one they did with the Olympians and stuff like that, that was a little bit. I thought it would be better, right? In fact, I didn't even finish the season. I should try and go back and finish it. But what I have to do now, Vontae, dude, I have to go finish Monster of Gangnam. I gotta finish Songbirds of the West. I got a couple stuff just hanging that I because some of these shows didn't come out all at one time, so then I hop around. Right. That's why I would prefer them put everything on at once so I can watch it at my own pace. But there's still shows that do that, and then I'll just watch those first, pace myself, and then by the time I finish these other shows, then by the time the episodic ones are already usually they have like 1 or 2 episodes before they wrap up the season, and then I can just come in and just one time just blast them all down. Yeah, dude, I'll definitely go check it out though. The international shows have a lot of gems on Netflix. Yeah, dude. This is what and I think this is what Microsoft is doing. They're mimicking. I bought that one. What is it called? Something of Verba. It's more of a kind of a story driven game, but it has a cooking element to it, and it's about this husband and wife. They're trying to make it in Canada, and they're from originally from India, and they're debating whether to go back or not. But then they have a son, and they want the son to kind of grow up there to give him more opportunity and stuff. And so, but the whole kicker of this is, but I love cooking sim games. So you have to cook and stuff like that in the game, but it ties in perfectly with the story, man. And they find ways to work in. Like one day, the husband wasn't feeling well, and so the wife made his favorite, dish and stuff like that. And that's a little bit challenging, man. I know I'm a little bit early in the game, but one of the recipes I made, it was kind of challenging. So I was like, I liked it. I like the combination of things, right? And it has a perfect balance too, man. And that's the difference with gaming now. It's so what's the word? It's just so much stuff going on in certain games. Like the only thing that might kill a game for me now at this point is like mechanics, bugs. Like the one game that came out where you have the talking guns, which I thought was really cool, but the game broke on me. Like that was a really bad bug, dude, and I just never went back to because then I'd have to start all over again. I couldn't get my saves to work or anything like that. So if I would have to go back like a couple stages, it's fine. But I looked at that and have to restart it because there's really no way for me to go forward. So other than that, it has to be something major right now. But most games right now, I'm just blown away by the fact that they can combine a lot of different genres within their game and make it work and play off of each other and actually make it make sense like this game does and actually enhance the gameplay of the various aspects of the game. That's in some instances should not work, right? And again, this is why when I look at this list, man, this the games that Microsoft has coming out or that'll be represented at Gamescom, there's a litany a litany of games that are like that. You're just not playing genre specific. They have genre. I mean, don't get me wrong, they have genre specific stuff, right? But you're not just playing genre specific stuff anymore. And then the level of detail that they put in a lot of these games, the resources they put behind them, even on the third party stuff, dude, everything's just getting better. Like Towerborn, can't wait to get my hands on that because I like the developer working on this was the guys that worked on this other game that I love from back in the day, and it was more of a turn based strategy game, which I mean those are kind of hit and miss for me, but because of the art style, because of the storytelling and stuff like that, dude, I played it, dude, and I never looked back. So for me, it's interesting to me because this is kind of a stepping out. This company's kind of stepping out into another aspect. Hopefully, the storytelling's still there. I think it will be, but this is definitely more action oriented. So I'm gonna see how well. I mean, it looks amazing. I know I probably like it just because it's right up my alley, the type of gameplay that it is. But this might be something that might be a game that I mean I'll be totally addicted to and be playing nonstop. What do you got? Definitely looking for Starfield Shadow Space. I saw the vehicles, so make sure to click with the vehicles in the game. That would be absolutely really cool. They got a whole new story arc coming into it. I'll definitely jump back on when that's released. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, dude. I'm actually looking really forward to this, just because of the presentation of the game, the fact that Bethesda is doing it, the fact that this is a passion project for our boy that did Starfield. I can't think of his name right now. I don't know why Pete Hines is still stuck in my head, but you know what I'm talking about. This has been like a passion project for him, and you can tell through his show. So he's passionate about it, dude. I love the trailer. I love how it's a game, but he also paid homage to the actual movies as well. So I'm definitely looking at playing that. I'm trying to get achievements for Starfield because I did my first playthrough with mods. Oh, nice. Nice. Yeah, dude, I haven't touched it in a while, dude. I'm not gonna lie. I gotta get back on it, dude. But it's such a time suck for me. I have to step away from it because I just explore planets. That's all I do. And if I just so happen to feel the urge to do a storyline, I'll do it. And then a lot of stuff I'll just discover as I'm just searching for planets. So, good times, man. That's such a great game, dude. It doesn't get enough credit as it deserves. Todd Howard. Sorry, guys. Yeah, Todd Howard. So I can't wait to get my hands on that. Space Marines too, man. You know how it is, dude. I actually love the Warhammer universe, dude. My first introduction, a little bit on the Vermintide side, right? But I love that game, and that got me into all kind of other Warhammer stuff. Looking at probably gonna buy this day one just to support the brand. It looks amazing, right? I know he bought tie on that one as well. He talks about that a lot. Atomfall, definitely look into that. Visions of Mana looks amazing, dude. It's remastered, but the fighting mechanics look. I think they improved those as well. Dustborn is another one I'm looking forward to. Love the art design, right? The action looks kind of fast paced. I don't know how it's going to be, but we'll see it. Did I see a lot of people talking about Marvel Rivals? Man, I don't know. Did I saw the trailer of that? It just looks like they're just copying Overwatch. That might be good, might be bad. I don't know. I don't care. I don't know why you call it Marvel Rivals. When I watch the game, you should have called it Secret Wars, dude. Squirrel with the gun. That looked cool, man. I saw a trailer for that. Replaced. It got delayed, right? But I'm definitely want to see if they drop at least any new trailers or stuff like that. I can't wait, dude. Like I said, they delayed Evolve, dude. I'm not hurting for games. I'll be fine. Winter Burrows, another big game that I'm looking forward to seeing. Spirit of the North, if that's the same one, I think it is. Because I played the first one when I first got the Xbox that launched. It launched one of the early games that launched that I absolutely loved. Kind of story driven, man. You do some kind of cool stuff, but it's in the characters and the world and the story unfolding in front of you, man, as far as the mythology, but also the story of what's going on in the character's life, which is really cool. Tales of Iron 2. Still haven't played Tales of Iron 1. Shout out to my boy Heba. He's the one that sent that to me. Gotta do that. Dude, Void Train. Definitely want to check that out. But the one that I'm definitely going to play is Star Trucker, man. That game looks cool. That looks like something that's right up my alley. And then, of course, you guys know I'm a Funko fanboy, so Funko Fusion. And who that? Look, dude, they got games galore, dude. I'll definitely be tuning in to Gamescom. Kind of jealous of those guys because they get to put hands on. They actually get to put hands on the games, right? They get to play the games at that level. So definitely gonna check it out. Fonte makes mods team. Mods make the immersion so much. Oh yeah, dude. I saw some really cool stuff. The Star Wars stuff looks really cool. I'll probably do my first playthrough to beat the game, and then I'll mods after it. I need to just get back on it, dude. But again, if I get back on it, then I'll get behind and everything else. I'm definitely gonna play my Dead Man's Diary. Though. I'm definitely playing that tonight. Hopefully, it meets my expectation. I downloaded Mafia earlier. I played it on my day off, on my off day. Haven't played it since back in the day. That's one series I never played, and then the third one to me looked like it was the best one. But the first one looked awesome. They remastered it, right? I mean, it looks like a fun game. I'll definitely download it. Or actually, I think I own it. I think it was on sale, so I just bought all three because I wanted to play it. Yeah, again, that's why I get myself in trouble, dude. Because I do that a lot. I do that all the time. Yeah, dude. But let me wrap this up, man. It's an hour and a half. I think that's a pretty good run on it. Thanks to the chat. Thank you guys in the chat for being here. Fonte, if you have any more questions, man, just drop it, dude. I can still go if you want. But I kind of want to do my outro now so that when I'm ready to go, I'll just bounce. But yeah, Vontae, dude, let me know if you have anything else. And thanks for being here, brother. Toolman, thanks for stopping in. Really appreciate it. Sniper Eric, brother. Yeah, what's going on, man? Keep an eye on that economy, man. Paycheck to paycheck is no joke, dude. McDonald's, where I live, dude, McDonald's is not even a consideration anymore. Dude, there's outside restaurants doing better right now because McDonald's is so high where I'm at. You know, that was the cheap alternative, not anymore. Global, man, I appreciate it. I sent you the link, bro. I don't know if you saw it. I put it on. Oh, snap. Man, Microsoft just wants me to get that. I'm not doing that Copilot, bro. Not yet, anyway. But I'll maybe go bounce. Yeah, dude. But let me see. Oh, okay. Nah, I'm good. I gotta get ready for. All right, yeah, man, dude. Yeah, dude. I feel you, bro. The reason I'm doing this, I got off of work, dude. We got an hour off early, so I had some time, man. I gotta do some stuff around the house now. But yeah, dude. Again, shout out to the chat, man. Thank you guys for being here. Really appreciate it. Again, all in chat. This is the format that I'll be doing a lot more on this channel. We're gonna address things specifically, right? If you guys have comments, I really want to, deal with that, man, because you guys have always, I've learned so much from the chat, man. A lot of you guys keep up with this stuff more than I do. Correcting me at times, which I'm totally fine with, dude. I don't want to put up, as we say here, bump scoops or bad information, right? So definitely, man, just I have no problem, man. No worries, man. But again, yeah, Hi-Fi Rush. Then, but we'll see how that turns out. Media, stop listening to these clowns. They're not worth. They're not worth the time of day. And Gamescom, dude. Gamescom. Probably do another podcast. I can't probably won't do it the day of the actual broadcast of Gamescom, dude. But I'll do something. I'll give you guys my thoughts on it because it just looks amazing, dude. I see what Microsoft's bringing to the table, and it's untouchable, man. I mean, Nintendo and PlayStation won't even be there. Right. I mean, let that sit in your mind, dude. One of the biggest events, especially since it's fan oriented, man. It's one thing when E3 goes away because the higher ups, can't they don't want to foot the bill for a good reason, man. I mean, people broke, but something like Gamescom, dude, you should show up. You got to show up. And again, man, I'll give Microsoft the credit that none of these people do. Microsoft shows up, they show out. Dude, 50 games, man, and not just their own, and not stuff they're pushing off to the side, dude. 50 games of their original stuff, the studios they deal with, the third parties they deal with, man, the indie companies they deal with, man. They put them all on blast, give them all the support, man. Hopefully it works out for them, dude. It's just, dude, in this economy, it's just rough, dude. It's just rough. Now, don't get upset if you can't get everything, every single thing, man. That's just the reality of it. But anyway, man, thank you guys for being here. Xbox All In channel, host Sega Forever. We are out.